Bear Academy.
Okay, hi. So we are back with Saya Note. And still censored because Saya still has her mosquito bites out. But hey. So how about we go for the second choice now? I don't need it anymore. On that terrible day when I first opened my eyes after the accident, what would my answer have been? When I think back on this many years from now, will I wish that my answer today had been different? It doesn't matter. Here at this moment, there is no doubt in my mind. Who was that? I asked Saya, looking at the unidentifiable pieces of the monster. Man living next door. I don't know his name. Oh, Mr. Suzuki. He was hardly a stranger. We've been neighbors for as long as I can remember. I'd go so far as to say we were on good terms before the accident. And now I've killed him with my own two hands. I feel little. Mr. Suzumi, the kindly painter who lived next door, is but a distant memory. The pieces of meat around me belong to a creature whose mere existence was nauseating. Only by killing the vermin could I find relief. He complained about my yard being filthy, the swine. It doesn't matter what Saya did. He wasn't worth keeping alive anyway. Damn, that's cold. These are my honest feelings. My hands were wet with another man's blood, and yet I am utterly calm. Now I know that what I lost in the accident. Saya says that I can take it back, but I know that I cannot. It is gone forever. I feel like the life of the man called Suzumi. Hey, Saya, no doctor could possibly fix my condition, you know. Fuminori? You can do what no human is capable of. You're not human, are you? Saya looks away, her expression unreadable. Everything is monstrous and loathsome in my eyes. Everything but Saya. I thought that she was somehow unique. I was wrong. I see her just as I do everything else. As something other than what she really is. But why should that surprise me? Saya is part of my world, just as I am part of hers. It doesn't change what we are to each other. I stand and walk over to Suzumi's dismembered corpse. Doesn't it look delicious? I read this manga once about a man who recovered from an accident only to find that he could no longer see the world as it was. Kind of like me. That's awfully convenient. I finally realized that even though the stench of these monsters' flesh turns my stomach, their blood and guts smell pretty good. In fact, I know this fragrance quite well. Oh, so now it's clicking that you ate your friend? He saw people as rocks and robots as beautiful. He saw people as rocks and robots as beautiful women. There we go. And so he fell in love with something that wasn't remotely human. I retrieved the cleaver, pick up a piece of Suzumi's body, and start removing the skin and tendons. Just gonna eat him right there and then? Yeah, just as I thought. The stuff underneath is exactly the same as what Saya and I have been eating. Yep, now it clicks. Hey, this looks pretty good, let's eat it. You're awfully casual about this. Fuminori. Oh, sorry, you're in no mood for that now, are you? At least get rest first. Now that it's dead, though, meat is meat. It would be a waste to throw it away. We should get it in the fridge. Isn't this, fridge still full with body parts of your friend? Is that alright with you? Sure, I answer easily. There is no longer any room for doubt in my mind. Also, his wife and daughter are probably next door. They might cause trouble when he doesn't come home. Better hunt them down before they go to the... Holy shit, okay, tone down there for a second. You have fully lost it, Fuminori. Is that really what you want? Saya asks again, this time with a trace of fear in her voice. I guess I still haven't convinced her of my sincerity. So at the end of this manga, the man who fell for something inhuman gives up on his own humanity for the sake of their love. A happy ending, don't you think? Kinda. Fuminori. You're all I need now, Saya. Nothing else matters as long as we're together. Oh, and she's naked again. But at least they're hugging. Tossing the knife and meat aside, I pull Saya into my arms once more. I can say it now, can't I, Saya? I love you. As Saya wipes away the tears flowing from her eyes, I can no longer see any hint of fear in her face. I don't want you to forget this. I don't, but... I've sworn my oath, and Saya has accepted it. We have nothing to fear now. Saya will never need to cry again. I can't help it. I'm so happy. I guess I'm pretty selfish, aren't I? I don't mind. I'll always indulge your selfishness. Filled with contentment, we exchange a smile and set to the task of cleaning the room. A single person produces a lot more meat than I expected. Speaking of which, I seem to remember doing something similar before. About his wife and daughter, I think he killed them. I heard their screams. Well, that makes things easier. Damn, Fuminori, you one cold bastard. After we finish here, we should go gather the meat from the Suzumi house. That should be enough to hold us for a while, and we can use the refrigerator to store what would fit in ours. I'm pretty sure they got like friends and relatives, and I don't know. If they don't hear from them in a while, they're gonna check their house, and what if they just find their bodies in their fridge? Pretty short-sighted. It's all coming together. Saya and I will be just fine. I think I recognize this picture. After we finish our labors and get into bed, I show Saya what I found in Ogai's house. Looks familiar. Yeah, I've definitely been there. The photograph that Saya selected is the one with a Tochi prefecture address on the back. That's a house, right? I see trees and mountains. Yeah, wow. Fuminori, you can see pictures now? Alright. A little. At the outset of my ordeal, I had to depend entirely on my senses of distance to decipher what I saw. The houses in front of me, the mountains far behind them, the clouds high above. Only distance and scale told me what they were. Photographs and other flat images used to be nearly impossible to make out. Recently, however, I've gotten better at understanding what things are by their shape. I know what the mountains and sky look like, for instance, and how to tell them apart from buildings. Each of the 3 pictures shows a similar scene, a lone house in the middle of a thick forest. Dad called this his retreat. He said that no one would find us here. Judging by the address on the back of each photo, probably are excellent places to hide from prying eyes. But why 3? The days are pretty old, and it seems odd that they were all taken from within a few days of each other. Maybe he was scouting properties, looking for the perfect location for his hideaway. Saya recognizes only one of the houses, so that must be the one Ogai picked. Checking the location on a road map of the Kanto area, I find that it's about 3 hours out of Tokyo by car. You think your father will be there? I tried calling him, but he didn't answer. I don't think he's there. But he might have stopped by recently. The way I see it, our only hope of finding Ogai is to follow whatever lead we have, no matter how small. Probability that this hideout will yield useful information may be low, but it's not 0. And she's naked again. Come on, just put on some clothes, girl. I think I'll check this place out tomorrow. Do you have to? Saya pouts. I wasn't expecting her to object. Isn't it far? It'll only take about half a day to get there, check it out and come back. I have to stay home by myself while you're gone? That's what it is. Slightly exasperated, I smile and rub Saya's head. Be a little patient, okay? You want to find your father too, don't you? After a brief silence, during which her expression is hard to decipher, Saya looks up at me and says, Hey, Fuminori, let's forget about that. Huh? That's the last thing I expected her to say. Forget about him, but he's your father. Aren't you worried? Not anymore, Saya says, coming closer to feel my warmth. I have you now. I call him Dad, but he's not really my father. How about I call you Daddy instead? Hahaha, waka waka. He taught me a lot and probably loved me in his own way, but you're kinder and warmer. Saya's words make me happy, but I also hear the loneliness in them. Are you really alright with that? Yeah, you don't like it being just the 2 of us? I do, but I also want to meet Dr. Ogai. Having finally figured out how to explain my feelings, I continue. I want to get to know you better. If there's someone who knows more about you than I do, I have to meet them. Oh? Saya doesn't seem upset, but she does tilt her head quizzically, as though my thoughts are strange to her. And I also want to... Yeah, I'm going to check it out tomorrow. Another plan has started to form in my head, one separate from the search for Dr. Ogai. If I find the doctor there, great. If I don't, well, I think I can find another use for this mountain retreat. I know you'll be lonely, but try to bear it for a little while. Okay, she nods, then looks questioningly into my eyes. Fuminori, you really want a family and friends, don't you? More people you can spend time with. Well, that would be more fun, yeah. Fearing that Saya will start sulking, I hurriedly add. But don't get me wrong, even if I could have lots of friends, he'll always be special to me. You're my dear little flesh monster. I know, hey, thanks. Giggling, Saya rubs her cheek against mine. I'll find something to make you happy, something just for you. Today, all of Koji's classes were in the morning. On his way to meet Yo for lunch after his final lecture, Koji suddenly gets a call in the middle of the hallway. Without thinking, he reaches to his belt for his new camera phone, but curses when he realizes that the ringtone is coming from the old phone in his bag. He hasn't transferred his contacts list yet, and calls still come to his old phone from people who don't know the new number. When he finally fishes the phone from his bag, the name he sees on the display sends a chill up his spine. Fuminori. Why now? What does he want? It's hard to be happy about a call from Fuminori after the incident at the Ogai house. Hello? Hey Koji, you're done with class for today, right? Yeah. Of course Fuminori would know that Koji's free on Thursday afternoons. I need to talk to you about something. Can you come in the parking lot? Now? Yeah, I'll be waiting. Fuminori hangs up without another word. What's gotten into him? What does he want? Koji wonders as he sticks the phone into his jacket pocket. This sudden change is disturbing after a week of Fuminori avoiding both Koji and Yo. Maybe he's finally ready to talk, in which case Koji should probably consider this a good timing. However, you can't shake the feeling that something's wrong. Did I keep you waiting? Nah. In the parking lot, Koji finds Fuminori leaning against the fender of Koji's car. The last time they met was in the darkness of an abandoned house. This is the first time in over a week that they're spoken face to face in the light. Perhaps that is why Koji sensed something strange in Fuminori's expression. He's not sure exactly, but something has changed. Are you smiling a little bit? I mean, at least you're not frowning like in your other pictures. I think I told you before that I'm looking for information on a man named Ogai. Yeah, I got that. Well, it's starting to get more complicated. It looks like I can't handle it by myself after all. Fuminori seems more relaxed than before. He used to be tense all the time, like he was terrified of something, but now his expression is calm. He's even wearing what resembles a sheepish grin. I need your help, Koji. Nevertheless, some instincts is telling Koji that Fuminori's changes are not for the better. Why the sudden change of heart? Koji asks, keeping his expression neutral to conceal his suspicion. You're curious, aren't you? Fuminori responds coolly. His smile, unreadable as ever, offers no glimpse of his true motives. You searched Dr. Ogai's house after me. It's a waste of time for us to look for him separately. We should team up. Why? Why does he sense malice, thick and viscous, lurking behind Fuminori's smile? I don't know, because he's one cold bastard? Anyway, I need your car today. Mind driving? I guess not. Fuminori's car was destroyed in the accident, so Koji isn't surprised that he needs a lift. Koji unlocks his car and gestures to Fuminori to take the passenger seat, then gets behind the wheel and starts the engine. Well, where are we going? North Tochigi, near the Nasu Heights. Tochigi? Koji can't believe his ears. Here's the address, Fuminori says, handing Koji a photo with an address on the back. We need to find this building. So is this like a time before GPS, so you're gonna have to, spread the map out on the passenger seat and find your way there? He seriously expects to be driven over 100 kilometers and back? Koji doesn't know whether to be angry or impressed. 100 kilometers? I mean, 3 hours for 100 kilometers. I mean, I guess there are no highways. If we leave now, we should get there by evening, right? Yeah, maybe. Koji sighs heavily, tapping the steering wheel as he calms himself down. Now that he's come this far, the only thing he can do is see his friend's craziness to the end. Is this a vacation home or something? Probably Dr. Ogai should be there. Koji isn't looking forward to meeting the owner of the creepy house, but he's even more uneasy about letting Fuminori go alone. It looks like he just has to grin and bear it. We might not get back until night. Sorry for the trouble. Don't mention it. Koji drives out the parking lot, leaving the rest of what he had thought to say unspoken. Fuminori's smile seems wrong somehow, like a mask hiding his true face. Yo finds herself sitting alone in the cafeteria, searching for a familiar face as the lunch cools on the table in front of her. She was hoping to see Koji today, but he must have had other plans. That wouldn't be at all unusual. Normally, Omi and Fuminori would pick up the slack. But Omi and Fuminori aren't here anymore. Yo puts down her chopsticks, her appetite ruined by the lack of company, and by the anxiety eating at her. Omi is missing, Fuminori is turned on her, and she has no idea why. If Koji were here, she could count on him to distract her while some idle conversation. Now that she's all by herself, Yo becomes keenly aware of how little tolerance she has for loneliness. She begins to feel paranoid, like the whole world is plotting to take from her everything that she's cherished. What is going on here? Where has Omi gone? Is Fuminori really unrelated to her disappearance? Or is he the key to this mystery, as Koji and Dr. Tempo suspect? Yo recalls the events of last Thursday. Alone and without an outlet for her pain after Fuminori verbally eviscerated her, Yo was lucky enough to run into Koji. Although he could hardly make her problems go away, his kindness was a comfort. At the same time, Omi was on her way to Fuminori's house, and she hasn't been heard from since. Yo has only been aware of Fuminori's connection to Omi's disappearance since yesterday, when Koji revealed the truth during their visit to the hospital. What if... A new possibility occurs to her, a reason for why Omi suddenly decided to visit Fuminori. What if it hadn't been a coincidence that Yo ran into Koji that day? What if Koji and Omi had known that what transpired between her and Fuminori and had decided to act separately? Omi might have seen the confrontation in the courtyard. She might have been eavesdropping. It's not unthinkable. As the idea forms in her head, Yo feels as though something is tearing apart her body from the inside. It's only a possibility, but if it's true, then whatever happened to Omi is Yo's responsibility too, isn't it? Yo clutches her head, groaning in agony. The food in her tray is now cold, now that she would have eaten it anyways. Despite her frustration and anxiety, Yo is unable to act on her own. She's never been good at adapting to challenges, and no one would ever call her proactive. She hasn't the slightest idea how to respond to the situation. If Omi were here, she would probably tell Yo to think positive and trust her instincts. Yo has always depended on her best friend's energy. Now that Omi is gone, Yo realizes just how weak and useless she is. She can only sink deeper and deeper into the abyss of self-loathing. A sudden ringing of her phone pulls her back from the brink of despair. Hey, that's me. It's a text message. There's no title, and the sender is... Fuminori? Omi? Did Saya pick up her phone? Omi, Yo cries out in shock. The message itself is even more baffling. If you want to know about Sakisaka Fuminori, come to this house alone. Tell no one. Oh no. Saya, don't kill Yo as well. The message bears no trace of Omi's personality, but Yo can't deny that it was sent from her phone. She takes a deep breath to calm herself before typing her reply, taking care that excitement doesn't cause her fingers to slip. Is that you, Omi? Where are you? Yo presses send. The screen shows that her message was received. As she waits for a reply, her mind fills with questions. Is someone else using Omi's phone to send text messages? If so, why to her? Something suddenly occurs to her. She and Omi have exchanged countless messages over the years, many of which contained the sort of embarrassing confessions that close girlfriends share. At times when her feelings for Fuminori grew too strong to contain, Yo often put them into words for Omi to read. Did Omi put a password on her phone? Even if she had, the person who sent the messages was obviously able to unlock it, which means that whoever it is has full access to her history. You want to know about Sakisaka Fuminori? Yo reads the strange message one more time. Whoever sent it must believe that Yo has an interest in Fuminori. The phone rings again, startling Yo, but she quickly recovers and looks at the screen. There's no title, and the sender is still Takahata Omi. I'll tell you everything when you meet. Come alone. Tell no one. Oh, she's gonna get herself killed. It's not Omi. She would never try to scare Yo with such a mean-spirited prank. Anxiety has brought Yo almost to tears. Her mind isn't made to deal with this. Who is using Omi's phone and promising to reveal Fuminori's secrets? Who? Yo desperately wants advice from Koji, from anyone. She even starts to dial Koji's cell, but a sudden suspicion stops her. The sender might be somewhere nearby, watching her at this very moment. A cold chill runs down her spine as she looks furtively around the cafeteria. Come alone, tell no one. Yeah, that's a major red flag. The lifeless characters on the screen are like a knife against her throat. However, Yo clutches her phone and forces her to stop pounding. Isn't this cowardice exactly what she hates the most about herself? Doesn't she want to know what she's capable of? Doesn't she want to do more than sit and wait? Yo realizes that her hands are shaking. How easy it would be to just give in to her cowardice, to convince herself that Omi and Fuminori are beyond her reach. That is what she truly wants. Even if it means abandoning dignity and loyalty, she wants to flee from the unknown. But she also knows that even escape is beyond her. Yo understands herself well. She knows that no matter how far she runs, regret and self-loathing will consume her after everything else has fallen apart. In the end, Yo is unable to overcome her cowardice alone. She lacks both the willpower and the courage to run. Oh well, I guess this is where we say farewell to Yo. The afternoon silence is somehow forbidding. A stink is in the air, the stink of garbage left out to rot. Even this perfectly normal residential neighborhood seems ominous to Yo in her current state. She feels like she's standing in the middle of a necropolis, as if everyone in the house around her is dead. I mean, it's pretty on the nose. Yo pushes her fear aside and presses the buzzer on the Sakisaka house front gate. Fuminori wasn't in class today. Is he home? He couldn't have sent those awful messages, could he? She doesn't even want to consider the possibility, so she forces the unwelcome thought from her mind. There's no response from the intercom. Yo doesn't know, of course, that Omi stood in the same spot 1 week ago, staring at the silent intercom with the same confusion that Yo is experiencing right now. She, however, is not forced to wait as Omi was. The phone in the pocket rings, catching her off guard. Another text message from Omi's phone. Come in, the door's open. Oh, I gotta take a sip. Stay hydrated, kids. Delicious. Yo looks around quickly, a shiver running through her as she realizes that she's been watched. Searching fearfully for her observer, Yo spots movement out the corner of her eyes. On the second floor of the Sakisaka house, a tightly drawn window curtain just fluttered. The person who sent the message is inside the house. Only now does Yo realize that every other window has its storm shutters closed. No matter what happens inside, no one will ever know. I mean, it's not soundproof, is it? This time she... but then again, the neighbors are dead. This time she nearly gives in to the intense urge to flee. Oh, you better do it. But the terror she feels towards her invisible watcher is stronger, and will not permit her to turn her back on the open window. She has nowhere to run. You literally have everywhere to run. Yo bursts into tears, unable to take a single step. Phone in her hand rings again, demanding that she enter. She steps through the gate. Oh, Yo, please don't die. When she enters the house, an overwhelming stench assaults her nostrils. The house is dark, even though it is the middle of the day. Fuminori must be out, and the shoes are not in the vestibule? Is that how you call it? However, Yo catches sight of a different pair stuffed behind the shoe cupboard. They look familiar, so she pulls them out of the shadows for a closer look. As soon as she recognizes them, her mind tries desperately to deny reality. They're Yo's shoes, aren't they? They are identical to Omi's... Omi, I mean, of course. They are identical to Omi's favorite shoes. Yo has seen her wearing them many times before. But that doesn't mean Omi's here, she tells herself. They might belong to someone else, someone who bought the same shoes from the same store. There's no way Omi could be here, is there? I don't know. You might want to check the fridge. With a sudden flash of clarity, Yo presses the most frequently used speed dial button on the phone in her tightly clenched fist. The phone dials Omi's number. It takes only a second for the signal to reach the nearest relay station, and then... Yep, she's here. A familiar ringtone echoes through the house. It's coming from the second floor. Someone must still be up there in the room with the moving curtains. Omi's phone rings for just a few moments, and then it stops, as whoever is holding it realizes Yo's intentions. For the first time, Yo feels the definite presence of her formless guide. Who's there? It's the boogeyman. She gathers her courage and calls out into the house, but there is no response. Whoever it is must not want to be seen. You can probably smell her. I can smell you. Swallowing hard, Yo walks down the hallway to the staircase. Maybe it's Omi, maybe it's Fuminori. Surely it's just the two of them playing a prank on her. Koji might even be here with them. Yo's mind fills with comforting images of her friends. She needs to believe that there is still hope. Otherwise she could not take another step. Is that you, Omi? Fuminori, are you there? As she climbs the stairs one at a time, Yo calls out in a voice choked with tears. When they see her sobbing, they'll probably laugh at her. Let them. It would be the happiest moment of her life. She just wants this torment to end. She tries to move faster, but her trembling legs will not let her. With each agonizing second that passes, she begs for release from this nightmare. Careful what you wish for. After climbing for what seems an eternity, Yo finds herself standing in the second floor hallway. No sound greets her. There is only the gloom, brimming with silent malice. Omi? Omi, where are you? Are you there? She shuffles forward, calling out in a weak voice. Come out already, please. I can't take this anymore. The door in front of her is half open. It must lead to a room that overlooks the front gate. Yo watches helplessly from a corner of her mind. Her mind as her body, seeming to move on its own volition, slowly opens the door. Peekaboo. The room is empty. Check behind the... check under the bed. The room is empty. The damp, stinking air clings to Yo's skin. Please, stop this. She's at her limit, unable to take a single step more. Her spirit has been utterly crushed. Perhaps this is the moment her tormentor was waiting for. Something grabs Yo's arm from behind, something flexible and strong like slime-covered rubber. Yeah. This is where Yo's gonna die, but not before she's getting molested by the tentacle monster. As the thing binds her limbs, finger-like appendages tear roughly through her blouse and force their way inside. Yo screams at the top of her lungs, amazed that she still has the strength to do so. Responding to her distress, primal energy surges through her body as she flails wildly to free herself. However, the grip of the thing behind her remains unbreakable. With escape impossible, Yo can only scream louder as something cold and wet slips under her bra and wraps itself around her breasts. Yep, and that is the image that we are seeing right now. She's helpless to resist as the invader squeezes her breasts and sucks at her nipples. Why? Would have gone stiff with fear under the horrifying onslaught? Her ears are filled with the sound of something slimy sliding over her skin. As the loathsome assault on her breasts continue, the unimaginable terror threatens to drive Yo utterly mad. Her throat is already raw from screaming, and now she can't even breathe as she struggles desperately against her attacker. Suddenly the thing releases its grip on her breasts and pulls out from under her bra. Okay. So what was the point in that? Yo falls to the floor, unable to support herself on the unresponsive legs. The creature that grabbed her is still here, lurking in a dark corner of the room. She can feel it watching her, but can't bring herself to turn around. She knows that seeing it will likely destroy the last vestiges of sanity. From close by comes the beep of buttons being pressed. Yo hears a cheerful electronic sound, terribly out of place in this room, and sees the phone in her hand blink coldly. A new text message has arrived. She's powerless to stop herself from reading the characters on the screen. You're pretty, and your breasts are so big and soft. I bet they're good for attracting males. Goddamn, Saya, can you chill? Now she has her answer. Messages from Omi's phone were sent by the thing that just mauled her breasts. God. Yo curls up in a tiny sobbing ball, unable to raise her voice or even move. Oh god, please save me. Well, how about you start running away now? The creature makes a burbling sound. Yo somehow understands that it is laughing at her. That must be how you tempted Fuminori. I get it, Saya, you're jealous. You tried to steal him from me, didn't you, thief? Oh, okay. Okay, they're continuing. I fucking hate tentacle porn. I hate it. It makes me so uncomfortable. Something cold seizes Yo's ankle, then travels slowly up her legs until it has covered her entire lower body. Some primal female instinct tells her exactly what is going to happen. Yeah. She will be R-worded, powerless to resist a fate worse than death. Stop, she pleads feebly, even though there is no hope that the inhuman creature will be merciful. Please, not that. She hears it bubbling laughter again. The thing is enjoying her sorrow, her despair. Hey, that's me. Yo no longer has the strength to resist the monster on top of her. She is only able to shiver in revulsion as the cold, slimy thing covers her body. Her sight grows dim as her mind sinks deeper and deeper into a black, swamp-like abyss. Her breasts are toyed with, her nipples are sucked on, and a weight pushes itself between her legs. But it all seems so far away. I won't kill you. Though her mind is now barely functioning, Yo hears a voice whisper to her inside her head. It is a girl's voice, sweet and sinister, the cruel innocence of a child gleefully plucking the wings from butterflies. Oh, now you're messing with her mind? Instead, I'll let you share in our happiness. Rejoice, Yo. We'll love you to death. The soft voice is a stark contrast to the unyielding strength that drives irresistibly into Yo's core. Pain is sharp and savage, greater than anything she's ever felt before. Oh, yep, there it is again. It should be unbearable, but there's no longer enough left of Yo's mind to recognize this pain. Oh, while she stares blankly at the thing slithering deeper and deeper into her body, an idle thought floats around her fading consciousness. I've still never been kissed, have I?
Ultimate Despair Live.